A new study by the Lancet Commission on Pollution and Health found that almost 9 million people die each year from pollution. That is 3 times as many deaths caused by pollution each year than deaths caused by HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. There are 3 leading types of pollution: air, water, and land pollution. Air pollution pertains to the contamination of the air through a physical, biological, or chemical alteration in the atmosphere. Air pollution occurs when any harmful gases, dust, or smoke enters into the atmosphere and makes it difficult for plants, animals, and humans to survive. Land pollution refers to the degradation or destruction of Earth's surface and soil, directly or indirectly, as a result of any human activities that lessen the quality or productivity of the land. Water pollution occurs when contaminants enter any sort of bodies of water, including lakes, ponds, oceans, rivers, etc. There are many incidents which cause the different types of pollution. The most common causes for air pollution are the burning of fossil fuels and car exhaust. Sulfur dioxide, toxic when inhaled, is released from the burning of fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. Carbon monoxide, caused by improper combustion of fossil fuels and generally emitted from vehicles, is another dangerous agent when inhaled. Emissions from industrial plants and manufacturing activities. Manufacturing industries often release large amounts of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, organic compounds, and chemicals into the air, some of which are extremely poisonous and all of which deplete the quality of the air. Agricultural activities. Insecticides, pesticides, and fertilizers used in agricultural activities emit dangerous chemicals into the air. One of these dangerous chemicals is ammonia, which is one of the most hazardous. Mining operations. Mining is a process where minerals, such as coal, are extracted from the ground. Throughout this process, dust and chemicals are released into the air, which pollutes and depletes the quality of the air. The most common causes for land pollution are untreated human sewage runoff and dumping. This can cause the formation of toxic gases and increases the pathogen level, which can cause disease epidemics. Agricultural activities, including overtilling, overuse of the land, chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, weedicides, deforestation, and more. Littering. Everyday littering pollutes the environment for both humans and animals. Unregulated industrial discharge of untreated chemical sewage. This is done when the industries want to avoid the higher cost of treating the waste to remove harmful chemicals and heavy metals. Overcrowded landfills. Toxins released in landfills accumulate and soak into the ground. The contaminants also run off when it rains, polluting places that may not be in close proximity to the dump. And the most common causes for water pollution are wastewater treatment. Wastewater treatment is intended to eliminate most solids, pathogens, and organic substances. However, the sewage released back into local waters is not always free of bacteria, viruses, and other pollutants. Improper waste disposal, including improper industrial dumping and ocean dumping. Many industries do not have conventional waste management systems and instead channel their waste into fresh water, which flows into rivers, canals, and later into the sea. Ocean dumping is the deliberate disposal of waste at sea. The toxic chemicals within the waste create serious hazard to marine wildlife. Sewer leakage. Sewer systems can overflow, therefore leaking untreated sewer into the water. Its contents can go directly into bodies of water such as oceans, rivers, and lakes. Leakage from landfills, underground storage, and piping. Landfills can leak when it rains, which pollutes the underground water with a large variety of contaminants. Heavy use and corrosion of underground storage systems and piping can lead to spills, polluting the groundwater, which eventually runs into bigger bodies of water. And accidental oil spills. Oil spills are very concerning since oil does not dissolve in the water. Most oil spills occur by tankers, mainly from loading and discharging oil, equipment failures, collisions, fires, or explosions.
Hey everybody, it's Blaine here. I'm here to talk to you guys about pollution. Earlier in this video, Olivia talked to you guys about different kinds of pollution and how and why these types of pollution happen. And I'm just going to follow up on that a little bit and give some effects of these types of pollution. I'm going to start off with water pollution. First of all, many bodies of water in urban areas are very highly polluted. And this is either the result of individuals just dumping their garbage, or manufacturing companies, health centers, schools, places like that just illegally or legally dumping chemicals into the water as well. This can cause death to a lot of aquatic animals, and that's a main problem in water pollution. Fish, crabs, dolphins, and many other animals often wind up on beaches killed by pollutants in their habitat because of these chemicals and different types of things that's dumped into their body of water. Next is probably diseases, and eventually humans are affected by diseases as well, because fish can be poisoned, and then eventually we might eat them as seafood and we wouldn't even know it, and that'll affect us as well. And then there's also a lot of outbreaks in poor drinking water from contaminated waters, and this happened a little while back in Flint, and I don't think it's gotten much better in recent memory, so that could be hurtful to us as well. Alright, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is air pollution. And obviously air pollution can be very harmful to us humans, and it's very harmful to the environment as well. Air pollutants can be found in the form of particulate matter, which can be very harmful to our health. And the level of that harm usually depends on how much we're exposed to it. Short-term effects can include irritation of the eyes, nose, throat, and upper respiratory infections such as bronchitis and pneumonia. And long-term health effects can include chronic respiratory disease, lung cancer, heart disease, and even damage to the brain, nerves, liver, or kidneys. And obviously, we don't want any of that to happen to us. So, other ways air pollution can affect the area is acidification can happen. And acid rain can fall over the area. Acid rain destroys plants, leaves, trees, and can also be harmful to animals and fish as well, and other wildlife. So there's lots of different ways air pollution can affect us as humans, and it can also affect our environment, the things around us, such as our trees and our wildlife as well. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is soil pollution. Although we're talking about soil pollution last, it's definitely not least. Soil pollution happens a lot today, with buildings just popping up over the soil. I mean, it's under there, and we don't really think about it, but it's still under there. And I know we don't see it a lot, like I said, because of the buildings and roads being paved and things like that. So we don't really pay a lot of attention to our soil, but it still plays a very big part in our environment, and we need to do all that we can to take care of it. These are some of the things that can happen if we pollute our soil. Plants are unable to adapt when the chemistry of the soil changes very radically in a short period of time. The fertility slowly diminishes, making land unsuitable for agriculture and any local vegetation to survive. The soil pollution causes large tracts of land to become very hazardous to our health as well. Crops and plants grown on polluted soil absorb much of the pollution and then pass it on to us. This can explain the sudden urge in small and terminal illnesses that we're having. So, like I said, soil pollution is very harmful to our plants and vegetation and things like that, but it's also harmful to us as humans. And if we don't do something to stop it, then it's going to catch up with us. I know, like I said, we don't really pay attention to it as much as we pay attention to air pollution and water pollution, but soil pollution is also very, very big in our environment today, and we need to figure out how to stop it.
So, in what ways can we help protect our environment and prevent even more pollution? There are many ways we can take responsibility and help fight land, air, and water pollution. Here are a few for each category. One thing that a lot of people have already done to fight air pollution is to purchase an electric car. Gas cars produce a lot of carbon emissions that are ejected into our natural atmosphere, leaving us vulnerable to things like pollution and greenhouse gases. To help positively impact the environment we live in, an electric car is a great step forward. If an electric car is not an option for you, you can start by taking your bike instead of your car or simply choosing to walk. Another solution would be to carpool to work with one of your friends and not use your car when it is not necessary. Another simple way we can step up is to plant more gardens. This gives the air nutrients that it needs to be cleaner. Plants naturally take in carbon dioxide and produce fresh oxygen. Furthermore, green material provides nourishment for the entire food chain and not just the atmosphere. Both indoor and outdoor environments can be improved by simply growing these eco-friendly plants. There are some big environmental problems that must be solved, and this is one small way that everyone can contribute to reducing these problems that is safe and effective. Also, the bigger the plant, the more filtering that it can do. Another effective way to prevent air pollution, maybe even the most important, is to use alternative energy sources such as solar energy, hydroelectric energy, and wind energy. Nowadays, sophisticated technologies such as wind turbine and solar water heaters are used to generate electricity and other energy forms for household uses. Choosing one of these options can be expensive at first, but in the long run, it will save you money. You can also cut down using power by turning appliances that you are not using off and unplugging everything when you are finished. You also need to purchase the Energy Star light bulbs. They are recommended by the EPA because they use about 70 to 90% less energy than traditional light bulbs. They also last at least 15 times longer than regular light bulbs and save about $55 in electricity costs over its lifetime. Now, for water pollution, we must start by reducing our plastic use. Plastic can be very harmful for marine life and claims many lives every year. Once plastic makes its way to the water, it is extremely difficult to fish out and discard safely. If you do choose to use plastic, don't throw it on the ground. Make sure you take it to a recycling center and recycle it if you can. To protect water from pollution and improve the quality of water around your home, don't flush or wash garbage down the toilet or sink. Washing or flushing garbage is a sure way to cause a blockage or a leak in your water line that will eventually seep into the groundwater around your home. Garbage washed down drains can lead to bacterial buildup and may spread to illness. Similar to garbage, don't flush medications or contaminated liquids down the toilet. These substances contain sources of toxic materials that destroy the quality of natural water systems. One more easy way to help with water pollution is to avoid washing or working on your car at home. Doing so can cause oil spills in your own yard and lead to a lot of chemicals used for cleaning and repairs to build up in the groundwater in your yard. In residential neighborhoods where people work on and wash their cars in their yards or driveways, groundwater is much more heavily polluted than in places where this does not occur. Lastly, land pollution can be fought by recycling. When you purchase products, make sure that you look for the recycling label on them. Many of our everyday products, such as glass, aluminum cans, paper, and plastic, can be recycled to make new products multiple times. Also, dispose of litter in the appropriate way. Please do not throw your trash on the ground. Not only does this cause land pollution, but it adds to water pollution. Additionally, buy biodegradable products. When you use plastic products that can literally stay on Earth forever because they never decompose, it can lead to a problem. There are many other ways to fight all types of pollution. Do your research and learn how you can become part of the solution.